Hello everyone, welcome to the Ichimoku charts.com daily analysis for gold for Wednesday, October 3rd, 2012. Well, no change of trend today. A candle that's made a lower high and a higher low, so in bar chart terms an inside day. So the prior trend remains in force. Prior to that we had an inside day and then an outside day, and the trend was up prior to that, so the uptrend remains in force. Technically we have no change of trend to the downside. These candles that we're seeing at the moment, the inside days and the outside day, are candles of indecision. It does suggest that there is a possibility of a change of trend to the downside. But looking at the characteristics of this current candle, it is a white body candle, and a larger white body than we've seen for the previous 4 trading days. And it does suggest that momentum may have swung to the buyers to a degree. Having said that, however, the buyers weren't strong enough to take out the previous high, and that's quite significant that there was that weakness, and that's what makes this basically a very indecisive trading day, because the buyers weren't strong enough to take out the previous high, but the sellers were also not strong enough to take out the previous low. But looking at where the candles closed within the range, it's closed up between the midpoint level and the high, and it suggests that the buyers have taken control of this market, and there is a possibility of higher levels. Now we do have very strong resistance overhead, extending roughly up to around the 1800 round number resistance, and if the market does rally, there is a possibility of strong downside price rejection. The market is trading within this very large volatile pattern, a megaphone type pattern, and we have had the market making higher peaks and lower troughs in this pattern, and we have the higher peak here, and usually they tend to be breakouts to the downside following an uptrend, and they tend to be reversal patterns, but never preempt any pattern. Basically with patterns you trade the breakouts, and that's the ideal way to position yourself with trades with regard to any congestion area. Breakouts also should be a close above or below the boundaries. In terms of the support down below, we have very strong support at 1767, which coincides with the area where the Tenkan-sen is trading, and then very strong support down at 1755. Overhead, as I've mentioned, solid resistance extending up to the 1800 level. In terms of the Fibonacci extension, the trend hasn't changed, so the previous extension and the relationship to the prior uptrend that we're examining is still in force, and 3 trading periods ago we saw the market rejected strongly from the 261.8% level. That is still in force. It will still hold as potential resistance to this market, and there still is a very strong possibility of a change of trend based on the market meeting that target and being strongly rejected from that area. In terms of the Fibonacci retracement, however, of the previous downtrend, we are now in an expansion phase of that, and there is a possibility that the market will test up to the 161.8% level if the market does go on with this move, with the buyers taking control today, and that's at 1802, coincides with the 1800 round number resistance. In terms of Ichimoku, we have a bullish market in all 3 time frames, so slightly different than the equities market, where we have bullishness in the higher time frames but not in the fast time frame. In the fast time frame, the buyers have been able to maintain the bullishness, even though they are testing to the the Tenkan-sen, and finding support around that area, down around 1767. They are not closing down below there. We had one close down below there in all of this time period, and it was a very weak close, and then the market bounced off there very solidly, and that is very, very important support for this market at the Tenkan-sen. Trading above the cloud, so we're bullish in the long-term time frame above the Kijun-sen and the Tenkan-sen, so trading above the Kijun-sen gives us a bullish market in the medium-term time frame and bullish in the fast-term time frame. The Chikou span here is above the corresponding price action, so that's continuing to confirm the bullishness that we're seeing in all 3 time frames. In terms of the Kijun-sen, that is pointing flat, so we do need to watch that. When that turns flat, there's a possibility of price action being tracked back towards there, so there is a possibility of that happening, so let's be aware of that. But we do have solid support below where the market's trading at the moment. The Kijun-sen is also trading within this large zone of support extending from 1728 down to 1706, and it is very, very solid support, and even strengthened further by the fact that the Kijun-sen is trading within there. We also have the boundary of this megaphone type pattern at the edge of that area as well. So overall, a bullish market in all three timeframes. The buyers now are attempting to support the market. There is a possibility of higher levels, but we are trading into a large zone of resistance around the 1800 round number.